Then coming onto the edge of your chair, you can sit this way, you'll see me. So you're going to cross the legs over, wind. So I'm doing, I'll mirror you, so the left leg over and wind the foot around. If you can't reach all the way around, then just point the toe on the top leg down to the ground. This is gently opening through the hips here. And then inhaling, take your arms out wide, shoulder height. And you're going to bring the left arm under, palms together, or the backs of the hands pressing towards each other. Lift up to shoulder height. And then tilt your chin slightly. So keep that lift up through the core, but feel the stretch through the shoulders. Inhale. Take the arms wide. Exhale. You're going to cross the legs the other way, so right over left. And then bringing the opposite way around, so now you're going to have the left arm on top. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height, squeeze the forearms, the elbows together, lower the chin slightly. Inhale, take the arms out wide, exhale, then come up to stand. We can do our down dog against the desk. So take your feet back, push through your palms, lift your hips. Just really feeling into the backs of the legs. You can still bend your knees and be on your toes if you need to. If you can, you want to really prioritize the stretch in the spine first. So pushing through the palms. Relax your head between your arms. Feel as if your armpits are coming towards the earth. And lift up the tailbone, feel your hamstring stretch. And then walk your feet in and press your palms down into the tabletop and keep that pressure down and take your feet back. And then walk in again, but keeping the pressure down. You'll feel how your shoulder blades stay pulling down your back. So this is helping to give a little space through the tops of the shoulders. So walk back forward again, keep pressing down the palms and come right up. Again, walk back. So you're not going back as far as down dog, but just so you can keep that pressure through the palms. And again, come forward. As you press down, you'll feel how you need to use your core a little as well. Okay. Last one, walk forward. Okay, and then either holding onto the desk or the chair, it doesn't really matter. We're going to do a lunge. So take your right foot back, bend through your left knee. So keep the left knee above the left ankle. You want to keep your back heel up. So rather than pointing the heel or bringing the heel down towards the ground, you want to lift the heel right up, come up onto your toes, and feel how then you get that lightness through the hips. So you're going to lift up through the back thigh, but you still want to keep sinking the hips down so you can feel that strength in the front leg. Squeeze your thighs to the midline. And then you can drop, you can either stay there, if it feels all right and you're wearing something that you can actually do this, you can drop your back knee down, lean forward now. So now your weight's okay to come, bring the front knee forward. So you can flatten the back foot depending on how it feels in the knee. Maybe stretch through the hips. Okay, tuck the back toe under, come up, other leg, take the left leg back. Again, lift through the back thigh, lift the heel up in the back foot, so you're in the ball of the foot, up on the toes, sink the hips, but keep the right knee above the right ankle. Squeeze the thighs to the midline. And then drop the back knee, flatten the foot, sinking the hips, and almost feel like you're scooping your tailbone under. Nice opening through the front of the left thigh. Okay, then inhale, come back up, step the feet together. So this one, they're going to stretch through the back of the leg. So you can either lift your heel up onto the chair, or you can be on the desk and just, I don't have a desk, but you can put the leg, bend the left knee and just slide your heel, do this side so you can see, slide your heel under, but just trying to stretch through the back of the leg. Okay, so flex the toes towards you, and then you're going to lean forward. So if you're going to have to, if you're lower down, your heel's on the floor, you have to bend your knee. But you want this action of, like we were forward folding, lift up through your core, chest is lifted, reach the chest forward. So you want your back straight and really feel how you're sucking in your core. So trying to bring the front of the hips forward. Feel that lovely stretch up through the back of the leg. And then bend the knee, change, other side. Okay, so it's the hips are facing towards the edge of the chair. And then feel that action like you're actually pulling the thigh bone up into the hip socket. Flex the foot, and just leaning forward, but keeping the core strong, back straight. It's a very different feel. If you collapse through the lower back and curl in, you can still feel the stretch, but it's not as effective. Okay. Flatten the foot, bend the knee, come off there. Then come to sat, either holding onto your chair or the desk. And we're going to, we've gone outside. Okay. So coming into tree, but we're not going to do the full tree like so. We're just going to come to the calf. So you can do this, of course, with your hands on your hips. You can hold onto the chair. It doesn't matter, but what you do want to feel is that connection of, as you press through the foot, you'll feel the activation right up here in the hip flexor, and then you need to push the outer hips, so squeeze your outer hips as if you're pressing your buttocks forward, lifting up strongly through the standing leg thigh, and press the calf against the foot. Feel that whole activation. Lift up through the pelvic floor, up through the core, chest is lifted, and then slide your shoulder blades down your back. So you can be holding on, but really want this inward, squeezing towards the midline. And then release. And then same leg, you're going to bend the standing leg, so figure 4, this is cool. So now take the right ankle across the left knee, flex the foot, keeps the knee safe by activating the lower leg muscles, and then sit back. And again, you can do this as a balance, because this is going to work really well to build strength through the ankle. But if you don't want to get sweaty, because that might make you a bit hot, trying to do the balance, you can hold on either way, it's good. But this is where we're wanting to feel the hip, so trying to stretch through. So the lower you can bring your chest, the more you can stick your bottom out and tip your tailbone up, the more stretch you'll feel through the piriformis in here. That crosses over the sciatic nerve, you'll feel a lovely stretch deep inside the hip. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. Other side, tree. So you might want to swap sides of the chair, but I'm going to do it this side. So again, just bringing the sole of the foot into the calf, but lift your toes on your standing leg. Spread them and place them down. So it's so important, the grounding, feeling now that you're not clenching, you're not gripping with your toes. It's almost like you've got a slight lift on the instep, but other than that, the whole of the foot is pressing down, and feel the energy lifting up through the thigh, pelvic floor. And you can really release your hands or keep holding onto the chair. But now really feel as you feel the energy lifting up through your hips, you're going to squeeze the outer glutes. Your hips are pressed slightly forward and really squeezing the foot into the thigh so you're not sagging out through the hip. Keep that pressed in. Lifting up through the core if you want to bring your hands to your hips. And exhale. Release. Then coming into figure 4, bringing the ankle across the knee, sitting back. This feels so nice after a run, stretching the hips. I'm sure if you've been sitting down a lot, so sitting back, stick your tailbone up, but keeping that length in the spine, so we're not just curling in. You want to lift up through the chest. Keep the foot flexed. And then inhale, coming up. And then we're going to do a wide, so come to your desk again. We're going to do a forward fold, but you're going to take your feet a little bit wider. And we're going to take the hips back so they're above your ankles. Squeeze your shins and your thighs towards the midline. So it's not as wide as if we were on a yoga mat. We might be a lot wider. This is called Prasarita Padottanasana, but don't want you to skid, do the splits on the carpet or anything. There you are. So not too wide. You can have your hands on your hips, or you can hold on to the desk or chair. So hips go back, so not too far back, but you want the hips above your ankles. Lift up through your thighs. Squeeze the shins towards each other. Feel the pelvic floor activate. And then you can come down to halfway. So tipping your tailbone up. Squeeze your core. Relax your head. But keep lifting strongly up through the thighs. And if you feel secure here, you can take your hands to your hips. Feel now that you need to pull up more strongly through the thighs and the core. So really suck the core in. Now take your hands behind you. Press your palms towards each other as you clasp your hands rather than an open clasp. So squeeze them like you had a kiwi in between your palms. Keep lifting up through the thighs. Now relax your head and shoulders down. Squeeze your elbows towards each other and then push your fists away and try and pull them over so the arms going up. Squeeze your core, lift up through your thighs. Okay, then inhale, bend your knees slightly, bring your hands to your waist, come up slowly. And walk your feet together. And then, as you know, we do this standing. And then for the top of your shoulders, so clasp your hands, feet hip distance apart. And we're going to fold forward a little. So again, lift up through the tailbone. Don't take your bottom back too far. You're trying to lift up through the thighs, tip the hips forward, tailbone goes up. Push your hands away from you, relax your head down. Feel that stretch with your shoulders as you lift up your hips. And then bend your knees slightly. Bring your clasped hands to the back of your head. And then Round your elbows, bring your elbows towards each other. Keep lifting up the tailbone. You can straighten the legs if that feels okay. But now you want to push out between your shoulders. Gently bring your chin towards your chest, stretching through the back of the neck, just gently. Inhale, release your hands, bring them to your hips, bend your knees. Slowly come up. And then, my feet. Come to sit on your chair. And we'll do a little twist. So, sitting more towards the edge of the chair. Okay, and then if you had a back on your chair, or you can just hold on to the sides, or you can hold one hand up on the back of the chair. So, but firstly, you want to, like we always do in twists, is that you make sure that your core is lifted before you twist. So you don't want to be slumped and then turn and pop out your vertebrae. So you want to press through your sitting bones, lift up through your core, chest lifted, relax your shoulders down. Have you're looking forward, and then take your arms to the side wherever they can reach. Keep that lift up and then start to revolve and look behind you. You could even loop your arm around if you want to deepen it, but taking care of the shoulder. You want to open through the top of the shoulder, but not, you don't want it too intense. You'll feel, depending on what chair you've got, keep that lift. Inhale, come back to center, realign, lifting up through the core, shoulders relaxed. Take your hands to the side and then start to revolve. So making sure you're dropping the back shoulder away as well. You're not lifting up towards the ears. And then inhale, back to center. And then lastly, we're going to curl the spine under. So we're going to cat-cow from the chair. So sucking in the tummy, so you're not just slumping down, you're lifting up through your core, sucking your tummy in, then curling the chest down. Relax your head, relax your arms. You're slightly pushing out between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, reverse. You're going to stick your tailbone out, reach up, reach the chest up and out, look up. So you don't have to drop your head right back. Shoulders away from ears, and then exhale. One more, just curling through the spine. Last one, inhale, looking up, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, tuck the tail, tip the tailbone up, and then exhale, come back to center. And then sitting, facing me, close your eyes. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head and opening your eyes. Namaste.